In this series, we're going to explain to pastors and elders and leadership teams at churches how to revolutionize your church. Now, when we use this term revolution, it's sort of a play on words because what we're talking about is getting your church to become a discipleship culture, getting your church, the people in your church, to go what we call full circle. Now, when we say full circle, we mean that you're helping people in your church not just trust Jesus for their salvation and not just live their lives to honor God, sort of clean up their life and have the spiritual disciplines that a Christian should have in their life, all that sort of thing, but also to get to that third thing. That third thing is to help others, to disciple others, to mentor others. This is what Jesus expects from us. This is what Jesus wants from us. This is what he meant when he told his disciples, go make disciples. And this is sort of the thing that most Christians sort of fail to do. Most Christians sort of miss this. So in this series, we're going to walk through with you and with your elder team. We encourage you to sit down, pastors. If you really want to begin to have a discipleship culture in your church, use this particular series to work through, okay, how do the resources at PursueGOD.org, how can those free resources help my church to get to that next level? To take people who used to be consumers and to make them disciple makers, to take parents, to take individual people, to take small group leaders and get them out of sort of consumer mode and sort of make them all disciple makers. Our resources online are all designed just for that. So the first lesson in the series is about envisioning a new kind of a church. And we're going to talk through what we mean by mentoring a discipleship culture. We're going to talk through how our resources online are set up just to equip and empower your people, everyone who comes to your church, not just to be a disciple, but to make disciples. Now, the second lesson in the series is all about the flex method. This is the method that our resources use. It's all about finding topics online, learning about it on your own, and then coming together in your mentoring, small group, family conversation, and learning how to have these sort of empowered conversations using our simple tools. That's what the second lesson in the series will explain to you. Now, the next three lessons explain some real important training modules in our resources. So lesson 3 explains pastor training. And so pastor training is a 3-week module that teaches pastors how to leverage your leadership role to not just be the guy who does all the work, but how to leverage that role into making connections, making what we call handoffs to your established mentoring culture and structure. And the next lesson is small group training in a nutshell, and that's where we're going to show you kind of our small group module and how to use our resources in your small groups. It's real simple, and it uses all the same resources and all the same tools. And then the third module that you really need to understand, the third training module, is called mentor training. And so in this series, we're going to just give you an overview of mentor training to explain, okay, what is mentoring? Because this is the word that we intentionally use for disciple making. We use a word that's a little bit more commonly accepted. And really the goal here is, don't forget this, the goal here is to turn every Christian into a mentor, every Christian into a disciple maker, because again, that's what we mean by going full circle. Full circle means you don't just trust Jesus for your salvation, you don't just honor God in your everyday life, but also you know how to get in the game and help other people pursue God. And that's what we call mentoring. Now, the last lesson in this series is all about sort of organizing your church, setting up sort of the org chart in your church to just simply move from you mentoring a few to empowering those few to mentor a few. And again, the tools, the training, the resources at PursueGOD.org make it all super simple for you to accomplish this. So this 6-week series is a great series for pastors, elders, leaders. Do it on a retreat, do it over the course of 6 weeks, whatever it takes, but go through this series and learn how to revolutionize your church, how to take your church that has sort of this large group model where people are just consumers coming to church, where you're revolutionizing it and you're equipping and empowering everyone to get in the game and do what Jesus called us to do, which is to be disciple makers.